Hello, all of you delightful beings out there, and welcome to the stream. I am Razim, and this is Factorio. And it is TF Tuesday, so we are using the TF Talkies. So feel free to transform me to your heart's content, everyone. Unfortunately, this week I only have one new form for you guys to find. And I just realized I didn't enable the potion, so let me do that. There you go. Yeah, there's only one new stage this week, unfortunately. I just don't have the funds right now with Rex being out of work. I kind of canceled a lot of projects. Gotta make sure rent and such is covered first, you know?
Of course.
Yeah, old pal, I know. He bullied Guru, cheats on me, but he cheats on me not only with Rygon, but he also cheated on me with, Death, for the Death Wolf. Like, really, Ren?
Cheats? Just by hanging out?
Oh no, he was going to go give patronage to the Death Wolf, and it's like, you belong to the god of death here, Ren. You do realize that's a terrible idea. The Death Wolf is an imposter, Ren. Pal. Are you trying to give me diarrhea here? Oh, you're giving the bottled mala to Ren. Okay, that's good. Go ahead. Carry on. What does you being dead have to do with anything here, Ren? And yes, this is true, Frost Husky. I am so excited. Ren will feel my wrath. I mean, you guys are going to be fighting a ace trainer. Oh, so you're saying that it's really, really good to eat a jar of mala, then? Is that the case, Mala? So you're encouraging us to eat you?
Feel the backhand of justice!
I'm trying to remember where I was on all this. Oh, tabletop pack for Frost Husky coming right up.
Char wants some lemon tea. Get in the mud beers.
If I can type today. There we go. Your pack has been sent. Mala, it's adorable that you think they stand a chance against him. The only one in WoW traditions that I'm worried about is Nova. And of course, I get started, and then suddenly I get a whole bunch of stuff I gotta attend to real fast. It's always, right at the start. I'll sit here for a while, get ready to get started, but not actually starting yet. And then once I get started is when I get a bunch of things. But these are good things. Roy just delivered several icons. And I also need to send them Guru's character info. Which, that one is on me because I forgot to do that before. My bad. I blame Ren. Ren distracted me. Hey, ducks! You see, Mala, there is a problem with that statement. Arceus has taken notice of the world again. And that's all I'll leave it at. Okay. Alright, so you are waiting for that. I'm gonna make myself one of these. And probably a bunch of other stuff too. Gotta remember how to play.
Awful 234 wants some soup.
Y'all want some soup? Some zuppa descano? So yeah, how have things been anyways there, Rygon? I never see you anymore.
It's had its ups and downs. Doing okay at the moment, though.
Alright, that's always good.
Yeah, focusing a bit on commission work, so been doing a lot more writing streams recently. Blueprints has certainly gathered my attention for a bit. I try to do 100% completion on it.
I need to know what that game actually is.
It's one of those kind of games that it's better that you play it instead of looking it up.
Ah, so it pulls the Stanley Parable thing.
Kind of, yeah, but it's not like quirky, if that makes sense. It's actually a serious puzzle game, but it's definitely not your typical puzzle game. Like it's best to put it. You know how a lot of puzzle games are very static, like things are in places and you can kind of and ah over them for like as long as you need to. This
Yeah.
isn't like that. The puzzles actually shift and move around, and every run you might end up working on different things just depending on what you get and how you manipulate the RNG.
Interesting.
Yeah, the one thing I can say, since it's obviously pretty obvious right from the get-go, is you're essentially building a mansion every single day. So you're taking room blueprints and you have to arrange them in such a way as to kind of start figuring out the mysteries of the mansion. And every morning the mansion resets and you get you have to rebuild with all brand new rooms or with just new stuff. So it's actually been a lot of fun because I don't know. It's one of those kind of games that makes you feel smart for figuring things out.
Welcome to the hamlet.
Fair enough. Also, Silvershot, thank you very much for that follow. Welcome in. That co-op survival crafting game set in RuneScape entered playable early access finally. Well, okay then. Ah, yes, Silvershot. I am Marten. Well, currently I am a Puchiena, but that's because TF Talkies are what I'm using today. But we are very particular about Martens here.
Joke.
Like, you can bring up Marten videos constantly. I've got over 400 of them. Oh, very nice, Silvershot.
Oh no, I'm spotted. Doop 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 doop. Human is here. Do you has egg? Doop.
Yeah, I'm very, very passionate about the Martens.
Itchy back, scritch, scritch, scritch.
I actually have a channel on Telegram, Hourly Martens, that just posts Marten videos every hour.
Thank you for subscribing to Marten Facts. Did you know that Martens start with the letter M? That has been your Marten Fact. Tune in next time in the next hour for your next Marten Fact.
Well, Bragon, you realize you have just, signed yourself up for staying here for another hour.
Mark.
Thank you for the volunteering.
Well, you want to hear what I'm working on?
I mean, I'm interested. What are you working on?
A Mineshaft TF via massage.
Oh, the commission for Ren?
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
They decided to go up to tier 3, so that means we got plenty of room for details. It's going to be a little challenge trying to figure out how to, keep it exciting the whole way through, but it's a challenge I'm willing to work with.
Okay, so let me get this straight. Ren, you do not have the money to turn on your lights, but you have the money to upgrade a commission from Rygon.
I probably wouldn't guilt him on that, man.
Oh no, he knows that this isn't a guilt thing, this is a tease thing. We have been teasing the heck out of him because... like he said, exactly. He doesn't actually not have the money for his lights. It's that he just refuses to turn them on.
Oh, fair enough.
He claims they are too expensive.
I mean, I've got my heat turned off for just that reason. You know, a dollar is a dollar.
Silvershot, unfortunately, you cannot post links in the chat. They just automatically get censored. But you can go post them in our Discord. There is a link to the Discord for ya.
Yes, I appreciate that, Dux, and saying I'm good at writing. Money is better spent on Furry than Light. I mean, I'm not open for, like, any commissions or anything at the moment, but I can say a blurb here if anybody wants.
Go for it.
All right. I'll even use my narrator voice. I just have to find a appropriate section here.
I haven't had a Rycon narration in so long. It's been 84 years.
Yeah, we still need to finish that book, don't we?
Yeah. You've just vanished off the face of the earth from me.
No. I've been busy with my own things. Besides, you gotta poke me if you want to hang out sometimes. Let's see, what would be a good one here?
Construction surface conditions. Gravity greater than or equal to 0.1 millimeters per second squared. I have to keep track of gravity in this game now?
Yeah, it's bullet drop.
But this is for placing a box on the ground.
Here's a really short thing. Instead of like reading out a big old story or the work I'm currently working on, I'll say this little ditty I put in for a picture called Flickering Flames I posted a while ago. So the picture itself is a Ninetales TF sequence. Very lovely picture, by the way. And this was the writing that went with it. What is fire, if not a dance? Its movements curling back and forth in a gyrating procession of wild passion and predatory pounce. A flickering promise of what could be. And its secret is hardly unknown. It seeks to expand, to grow into a show that is truly hard to behold by all but the most determined or foolish. It will rage in a symbolic clash of crescendos and equally creeping skulks, the sweat of its efforts cast off to create dances of their own, entire regions laid bare by their performance, but if kept low and manageable, it can be the tail tip of a fox wagging in a happy existence, a friend of light and warmth casting a shield against darkness itself. So just imagine what 9 tails could do. Won't you dance with me? Well, that's the little blurb I put in for that picture.
Very nice.
Yeah. It's the artist did a very good job on that sequence, and I'm thinking I might actually commission them for a, what do you call it? Like a like a book cover. I might commission them for like a story cover, because there is actually a story I'm thinking of, a novella that I might actually, if I ever find the time to get around to it, finish up and maybe even start selling.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. 20,000 plus words of a twinning TF. I thought it might be nice. But that's in the future. I've got too many projects right now to seriously work on that.
I understand that plight.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that plight way too well.
Argon's always hanging out in VCs. Just Tug is telling you we're hanging with him often. You'll be close after. You're sure. Fair enough. Yeah. VCs are fun. So what's your goal with your thing right now? Have you built your rocket ship yet?
Right now, my goal is to, get my factory up and running. I made very little progress before I quit last. But at least the basics are here, so it's not like I'm completely at ground zero. I at least got research, power, and some automated mining up and running. You have the most perfect cards for Ren for Friday? Oh boy. I'll let Guru send that to you there, Ren, because I'm kind of streaming, you know? Oh, holy crap, you are a really good artist there, Silvershot.
Very lovely. Where's the art?
Art share.
Art share. Take a look. There it is. You got so many of these things. So many.
I might be needing to do a commission or two there.
Let's take a look. European Pine Marten. It's very lovely stuff. I can see that you have a very distinct style for heads. Let's see. Cloth work is looking nice. Oh, little scratches on the trunk. Very lovely detail added. There's something that's grabbing me though.
What's
I
that?
think I know what it is. It feels a bit floaty. The art feels a bit floaty, and I think it's the color with the line work. I think that's what's creating that perception for me. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, by the way. I'm just saying it's that's the impression I'm getting. Which for more cartoony stuff, like, works just fine.
I really need to get to Roy to work on the next TF talkie. Yeah, apparently Raygon has split into 2 Vaporeons, Lightning.
No, it's from an old commission. I don't have many of my just like feral Vaporeon form. So this is actually from a extended TF sequence where I'm being turned into a Vaporeon by another Vaporeon. I thought it was cute for a bit.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been hanging with a couple of TF groups, and occasionally I'll share art in with them, and they're like, "Wait, that was you?" I'm like, "Yeah." You probably have, if you're in the TF community at all on FA, you probably have seen stuff I've commissioned. You just don't know it's me. That's what I tell people, and I'm usually right. I know you get far more art than I do, Zim, though, so I'm sure people definitely know your characters by now.
Yeah, apparently I am famous.
Definitely not a bad thing. Be the popular.
Oh god, why? Alright, I'll do 2 more stacks of 5 of these, and then I'm gonna automate this, because I do not want to sit here waiting for all that. Hi, Era.
Hello. Ren, have you ever considered that maybe it's the way you throw the dice?
Well,
Like, the reason I say that is, like, I was playing Tabletop Simulator a few times not too long ago, and some people just like literally pick up the dice and then drop it and expect that they'll get, like, a decent number from that. I'm like, no, you gotta actually toss it. You gotta throw it.
so Fantasy Grounds handles the actual throwing and such for us. It is physics-based, like,
Hmm.
it is physics-based like, tabletop sim. It's just we're not physically picking them up and throwing them across the table.
Yeah.
Or
Speaking of which, didn't
digitally
Fantasy
doing
Grounds
that.
have a sale not too long ago?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I think they had a sale, and I was very surprised. They had like apparently 3,000 different Attachments and modules. I didn't know they had that many in their system. Might have to pick it up myself one of these days.
Yeah, they partner with a lot of companies in an official capacity to, you know, do, like, they're partnered with Wizards of the Coast, Paizo, was it, behind Pathfinder? The people behind Savage Worlds, and a whole bunch of others. And, yeah, they actually are an official setup on all of those.
I wonder if they've partnered with Hixun Draconis. That'd be kind of dope. I like that system.
I have no idea who that is.
Furries in Space. It's a Kickstarter I backed a good while ago, and they made a sequel. They made a second version of the system. So, you know, they've got some following.
I know I'm already in talks with them for Scar when we get closer to finishing that. But yeah, for Ren, it's not a matter of how he rolls the dice. It's a matter of he has not given the proper tribute to RNGesus. I mean, when he started playing with us, he had no dice. He did not have any actual dice. Which, that, right off the bat, bad sign. And then, he made his curse worse, because when I told him to go to a hobby shop and pick up dice, he got the cheapest stuff that they had available.
Ren, you gotta buy the pretty click-clacks. Speaking of which, there's far too many dice makers online now, and they all have such awesome stuff. I can't choose anymore.
Yeah. It's like we kept telling him. Here, we've got a card for this, actually. Where is it? This one.
'Twould be good if you tithed a few coins now and then. The favor of gods is worth a few gold.
See?
Sounds like that's from an old Baldur's Gate.
It is. Yeah, you gotta tithe to RNGesus, and you cheaped out on tithing to RNGesus, so of course your curse was made worse. But now we have gotten you a proper, good set of dice. So maybe, just maybe, RNGesus will look past your sins. Yeah, there is also that. He just didn't even believe in RNGesus. Well, sure, Ido, but you at least believed in RNGesus. So that puts you a step ahead. You know, RNGesus sees the future. He knows what you're going to do. Which is why part of why Ren's curse was so bad is he knew that Ren would go and spite him by buying the cheap crap. Guru, don't be very careful about what you say next, Guru. Okay. Yes, there you go. Okay. Yeah, they are made to be entirely unpredictable.
Unlike families at Thanksgiving.
Oh, God.
You already know what's going to happen. The chaos is expected.
Oh. That just reminded me of that Christmas I got dragged to. Dragged to Ohio with the family. That was so miserable.
So when are you gonna have grandchildren?
Thankfully, they don't ask me that question. They all know I'm gay.
Yeah, my grandfather still occasionally asks. Well, not occasionally. Every single time he'll ask, like, "Why do you have a girlfriend yet?" Blah, blah, blah. Like, I think at one point I just told him it was none of his business.
My mom still keeps pushing the idea that I should get a standard job. While I may be operating in the hole instead of actually having a positive income on streaming, she doesn't need to know that part.
Mm-hmm.
All she needs to know is that my income is really freaking decent. And I will absolutely throw it in her face because I do not want to go work customer service for $9 an hour. I'd rather starve and be homeless than do that.
Yeah. Well, nowadays it seems almost like, what's the point of working anymore when you don't even earn enough to make a living?
Well, her job probably pays a lot more than $15 an hour, or a lot more than $9 an hour now, Guru. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Era, I make a decent wage and I'm struggling. I can only imagine how it is for people who don't.
At this point, the, dream of owning your own house and being able to be, king of the castle there, that is not feasible at all. For me, I am very much planning to always have many others in the house with me, helping with rent.
What are you talking about, Era? If I ever get a house, I'll just let it fall apart. As long as I keep the basic necessities on, who cares?
Era, I will say, while, yes, you have to do repairs and stuff for a house, at least mortgages are usually cheaper than rent.
Mm-hmm.
And your mortgage isn't just going to suddenly be like, oh, we're renewing your contract, but it's gone up $200.
Mm-hmm. We're sorry, you can't afford mortgage, but here, you can definitely afford this much higher rent payment. So it's all scam.
Fair, Era. But at least your money is going towards something that you own. You do have a light. It may be really far down the line, but there is a light at the end of that tunnel there. At some point, it will be paid off. Whereas renting, your money is literally just disappearing into the ether. Usually into some corporation's pocket. I am aware of that, Era. I am aware of that. Before I moved here to Nebraska, I was living with a former roommate who bought a condo, and I mean, it's not the same as a house, but I do know that I do know a lot of the stuff that goes into actually owning a house. But he had bought that, and, well, he was very antisocial, huge social anxiety kind of thing. So I handled basically everything for him, and he just provided the money. So I handled
Pretty
all
good
the
deal.
I handled all the maintenance, all the actual paying of the mortgage and everything. He just, handed me the money, and I put it where it needed to go and stuff. So I do understand that owning a house is much more expensive than you think. I do know that. It's just at least you have that light at the end of the tunnel that it will eventually go away. And even if it does, last the rest of your life, at least it's something that you own as opposed to apartment where you're never going to own that. I'm hoping, Guru, that I might be able to inherit my grandparents' house, even if I have to work out a deal with my aunts and uncles for it. And, my mom. Because I personally really do not want to see that house go out of the family. But I am the oldest grandchild. I lived there for a while. It was a good experience for them, good experience for me. I do know that even though my brother did ruin it for the rest of the cousins, my grandma has told me that if I am desperate enough, the house is still open to me. So I do have a fallback if I wind up, needing it. Of course, I'm going to avoid that because I don't want to put that on her, but Guru, to be fair, that is pretty much the only loving family I have. Actually, I take that back. My aunt is also really awesome. On my mom's side. And far more understanding of things than my mom. My mom's got this whole perfect family thing that she's got going on. So she refuses to believe in she refuses to believe that, mental health is a thing. For me,
She doesn't believe I exist.
yeah. The only times I would get therapy as a kid was going to the school guidance counselor, which, well, that is, that's not exactly a proper therapy thing. Or when the court would actually force her to take me to therapy. And even then, it was only, the court would be like, well, you have to give him at least 2 months or something like that. And so after that was up, it's like, okay, no more therapy. It wasn't until I got to my grandma where finally it's like I actually got help for stuff. I still wish I could go to that psychiatrist. She was really fucking good. That is just bad, Gib Gab. That is just bad. What's up, Geeman? But like on that front, I know for sure that one of my brothers, he has something going on, mental health-wise.
Which, as we all know, doesn't exist.
Yeah, yeah. If I put...
He's just not trying hard enough.
Yeah, exactly. I think I would put money that he is on the autism spectrum somewhere. I am not a mental health professional, so I don't know for sure, but I know for a fact that he has something going on in there. But he never got help.
Mm-hmm.
And even now that he's an adult, he still isn't going for help because, well, probably doesn't even realize it's available. Instead, he's fucking treating it with alcohol, and I am not happy about that.
As is usually the case when you have mental health issues that are not able to be taken care of or not willing to be taken care of in a more professional capacity. ADHD tends to go towards things like stimulants and meth. Depression, a lot of others tend to go toward alcohol. It's just people will try to find ways to self-medicate. And those kind of things, like you said, alcohol, tend to be the quick ones. But you see it in other things like excessive shopping or even excessive exercise.
God, I wish I had the excessive exercise one instead of the excessive shopping. I do know that sometimes when things are bad enough, I will find myself buying stuff I really should not. It is half the reason why I've got so much art.
Mm-hmm.
The other half is the fact that one of my mental conditions has no actual treatment beyond improve quality of life. Thanks. Yeah, I'll get right on that. After I'm out from this mountain of debt.
Got it.
So getting art, at least I'm helping somebody else out rather than a corporation. And it's not a good option, but it is at least a treatment for the pain. But I'm also in therapy, so I'm getting help with that stuff outside of it. But then again, even my therapist is like, yeah, unfortunately, you just don't have options on that one. Yes, I do. I am very, very fortunate to have you guys out there with the art, with the fan art. I'm really fortunate for, the friendship that I've built with, like, Roy and such. I don't use it often, but occasionally I will just poke Roy and be like, hey, I'm in a really bad spot mentally here. I need some emergency art. Well, that's the thing, Guru, is that it doesn't have to be really fantastic, amazing artwork. It's just the fact that I got something that in particular helps. If that makes any sense. I don't know. I know Whiskers will also do that for me, and with them, I've helped them both out a lot in the past. with various emergencies themselves. So, you know, it's not just an all-take situation. It's just, in that particular moment, I'm not paying them, but it's because I paid them in the past, essentially. Alright, where... I'll put it here. I can throw some more belts elsewhere. I need to get this produced, which needs transport belts and inserters. Inserters... Oh god, I gotta make electronic plates. I'm remembering part of why I didn't, I haven't played this game in a while.
Truly, this is the dankest dungeon.
Ducks_all_around tipped $5. A little help for your troubles. Also,
Oh.
you deserve happiness.
Thank you so much, Ducks. I really appreciate that. And also, Guru, you are a fantastic artist. Like, there's always room for improvement. You can always get better. That is the case with everything. It's like why I went to the Hypnosis 101 panel on my, at TFF. It's like, I know a lot about it, but there also might always be a trick or two that I could learn from someone else. Can always be better. Never let yourself stagnate, I suppose would be the better way to put it. Granted, I wound up learning nothing from that panel because they never actually got started with it, but you know, I went to it planning to. Wait, are we... Okay, no, we're good on power. Cool. Did that... Oh, it's already done. Okay, fair enough. Production. I'm just gonna make 5 of these. Guru, I will very much say that even Ido and Raijin will sometimes come to me with fan art for something that happened a month ago. So it might take you a while, but you can get it. Alright, and then this one will be electronic circuits. This requires iron plates. We'll pull those off from here. Underground belt. I need more underground belts. And more splitters. And then more transport belts. Let's grab more iron plates. And now we gotta wait for stuff to craft. Fetch! And yes, Ido is correct. There are campaigns that ended years ago that Raijin just randomly came in and gave fan art for. Hello, Fetch. How are you? And who's guilt tripping you, Ran? Sorry, who's guilt tripping you, Hero?
Alright, I better be getting on my stuff, but it was nice hanging for a bit.
It was good to have you.
Yeah.
You've
I'll see
been
about
missed.
popping by again soon.
I hope so. For now, have a great time.
You too. See ya.
Bye.
Rank up. Hold the line. This hamlet shall not fall.
Hello there, Kitsu. It's good to see you. I hope you had a great time. And welcome in, everybody. I am Razim. We do all sorts of things here. Aside from teasing, you know, Fenix like that, you know. It's just fun to tease him. Because, you know, everyone occasionally wants to be a nice, good boy. Don't you, Kitsu? Are you sure about that, Kitsumomoki? But if you're a bad boy, I guess I should take that new shock collar of yours for a test drive. Give a little zap, train you back into being a good boy. I'd be happy to help. Ah, you see, Kitsumomoki, you can shoot me all you want, but I'm the god of death. I ain't dying. Alright, long inserter there. We need to bring these up here. I'm gonna go ahead and go like this. Do another crafter for that. But yeah, how was your stream, Kitsu? get it set so it'll go on the bottom row. Yes, quote 1 was deleted before I realized something, and yeah. It's actually like quote 7 or something now. I didn't realize how the quote system worked at first, and I didn't want to go through the effort of fixing it at the time. And at this point, it's just too late. Alright, so we got the transport belts being produced. Let's put in a wooden chest here so we can collect those from there. And then... oh, right. I made a small mistake. But it's not something that I can't move past. Mahaha! Alright, send those up that way. Now we need to produce some inserters. We got 1 out of 2 products being made. Which we should probably... we're gonna need more assembly machines. We'll put them over here. Give us plenty of space. Kuroi, it's a save that I played forever ago and got started with, but otherwise, yeah, it's basically new. It's technically not new, but new enough. I really need to do some, wait, hold on. What is DSP again? I might be forgetting, and mixing things up here. Oh, Dyson Sphere. Yes, I have done that before. I already own it. Alright, so iron plate, iron gear, and electronic circuits. So these three need to be brought up further. Actually, we're gonna go this route with it. Oh, no, that won't work. So we'll just go like this. Bada boom. I'm gonna make 2 of these. There we go. And then this, that. Bring that, copy that there. And then iron plates. Get brought up, fed in. Alright, so that goes there. We will go like that. And like that. We need more long-handled inserters. Or long-handed, you know, whichever. I want these to go... Okay, we're gonna go like this. Ah, that'll work. Yeah, that'll suffice for getting the double setup going. And voila! We have production! Sure. So that's gonna place on that side. That's gonna wind up on the inside. Sure, that'll work. It's not great, but it'll suffice. Actually, better idea. We'll do this. We'll make 2 of these. Actually, that one should be here. And then this should go here. Oh no! Stop! Cease! No! I have committed a terrible, terrible sin.
Rank up. Hold the line. This hamlet shall not fall.
Oh, Matteo! You're already done for the night? I thought we were gonna hang out. Well, either way, good to see you. Thanks for the raid. How? That's fair, Mattio. I hope you sleep well. Thanks for coming by and sharing your community, at least. Everybody, make sure you go check out Mattio. And yeah, apparently he has come in to see the sin. But I am erasing the sin from existence. So, no sin. The sin is gone. The crime is hidden. Okay, we need to have more circuit production, I see. But we'll get to that in a moment. And more of those, it seems. Absolutely, Mattio. You know you're always welcome here. We'll do this, actually. There. Lightpaw, you know you're welcome too. And hey there, Seamus. Hey, Orca. And absolutely, Fetch and Mattio are both absolutely precious. I have spoken. Alright, we're feeding green potions. Ren did it, yeah, just before con, Mattio. You didn't miss anything really there. It'll only be a little bit of time before he changes it to Hero anyways. Notably with 2 R's, hence Hero instead of Hyro. Hi, Roy? Or Hey, Roy? Yeah, we could have him be named Hey Roy. Hey, Roy! Here, boy! Yeah, it rolls off the tongue and stuff, too. What do you mean, no, Red? Of course you did, Lightpaw. Of course you did. Okay, so we got a little bit before we need green potions again. Though you guys are welcome to throw green potions at me anyways, because I've got an excess of them for the moment. Yes, Gibgab, and half of them are himbos. Lightning Dragon, I'm not up to producing orange potions yet. Oh, there are actually orange potions now. was about to be like, I don't even think we have orange potions. But no, there are orange potions. Huh, funny enough, all of the potions that I have, they do have a correlation in here. That's rather funny to me. Oh, I know what you were gonna do, Lightball. What you were gonna do is come over here in my lap, get curled up nice and comfortably in it, as I pet softly over your ears, give little scritches behind them, and let you know what a good girl you are. Puddle cleanup at Lightpaw's house. Also, I am now recruiting for a, Now, see, that is a good password. Oh, wait, nope, never mind. Bad password. It's missing numbers. So, does anybody want to be promoted to executive puddle management service? In other words, glorified glorified janitor. We need more gear production. All right. Oh, actually, I think we need more iron plates. Ah, would help if 2 of my miners over here were not empty. We'll go clean out this here. And that. Alright, we are gonna get rid of that for a moment. Do this. Output priority there, and that. There we go. And then we just slot this right in. Ba-boom! More iron ore! Moth, you are a puddle. I gotta catch up with chat, it seems. You know what, Ido? Congratulations. You are now our executive puddle manager. Enjoy your promotion. Yes, yes. Yeah, we did establish that last night. Mala is the after-dinner lemon drop. Well, because you're not even a snack, Mala. Alright, we're gonna actually stop this for a moment. Because I realized a big problem. I did not plan appropriately for expansion. And as far as all that goes, Mala, you can thank Era for it, because he's the one that decided this stuff. It wasn't even us that decided it, it was Era. But good night, Mala.
Feel the backhand of justice!
Okay, so Mala did not learn from the last time, so this time, 24 hour. So he won't be able to say anything until he has to go to bed tomorrow. I am hoping that Mala is already gone to bed, so he did not see that. So that way I get a message tomorrow being like, why am I timed out? We really need a main bus going. But at the same time, I am lazy about it and do not want to put in the effort of actually fully setting one up. Alright, feed in that, feed in that. Bye forever, Light Paw. It was nice knowing you. Well, I know that, Slitherite. I've just kind of always wanted to try it out. Also, Kura, you should come join Voice. You know, I love how you send me that message at the same time that I was saying you should come join Voice. Kuroy was asking if I wanted to be solo. I didn't even see the message and was like, Kuroy, come join Voice!
It's like the moment I sent it. I was like, oh, that was quick.
Reject sends embrace spaghetti. I do enjoy spaghetti.
There's always a, you can't avoid the spaghetti in Factorio. Just lean into it, slurp it up. So, like, I finished doing, like, half all my training modules last night about, like, safety and stuff. And one of the big things was, like, oh, you're not allowed to have painted nails or fake nails or anything like that. Not allowed, not allowed. Not anywhere on the premise. And I go in there, and there's my manager, and she's got these big hooked fake nails with this really dark purple nail polish on. And I'm like, so it was, I just have to ask, it said in our training module about that. And she looks at her nails and she looks at my nails and she goes, you know what, if you don't tell, I won't. I'm like, I like you.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like you got yourself a good manager there.
Yeah, she's really excited to have me because everyone else who's willing to work nights is like 18 or 19. So the fact that there's like someone in their 30s who's willing to do the graveyard shift, she's like, please, thank goodness, work for me. I think we're going to get along great.
Alright. We got more iron ore production, but now we are short on iron plates. Always short on something, but unfortunately I don't have much room to expand here.
And I met the guy who's going to be training me. He's a professional drag queen who goes by Gleadriel. It's awesome.
You know, I've heard that the night shift at most grocery stores can be weird, but,
Oh, they're excited because me working there means they get to get off night shift.
Oh, so they won't be there much longer then. How many people work
well, they
night
won't be on-
shift then?
We only have one person on at a time at night shift.
Is it a
So at the
24-hour
moment, there's,
store?
like- Yeah, it is.
Ah.
So it'll basically be me running the store by myself with a security guard
Oh, good, good.
once I get through training.
At least, I'm really glad you're gonna have security.
Oh, I mean, you've seen me. Do you really think people are gonna pick a fight with me?
Don't underestimate the desperation of people, is all I'll say.
Oh, I don't. I've worked in where I live and the industries I've worked at. I'm used to it, but I also know how to handle myself, so I'm fine. We don't have guns here, so.
You know, that's fair.
They want to come at me, I'll just pull out my big baseball bat from under the counter and go, bring it. Yeah, you're not wrong, Gib-Gab. But at the same time, I'm not that worried because, yeah, again, we got a security guard, and, like, you know, if I need to, I can throw a punch.
I just know that, well, you've seen a picture of me. You know how big I am. And people have tried to pick fights with me before. Granted, they cower the moment I actually raise my voice, but I will never forget making a kid literally pee his pants from me raising my voice. It was beautiful.
For me, it's they cower when I reveal that I am very, very good at the intimidating one-hand knuckle crack. Sorry.
What are you going ew about, John?
Probably the one-handed knuckle crack.
Oh, yeah. No, it was the peeing the pants thing. Yeah, there were these kids that were skateboarding in our off-campus parking garage. And I had stopped and been like, hey, you guys can't be doing that here. You need to go elsewhere. You need to leave these premises, yada yada. They said okay, and they waited for me to move on. They thought I was gone, and then they went back to it. I was not happy. I saw them there, and it did not help that when I was getting out of my car to go, you know, yell at them to get out, I slammed my finger in the door. So that added some extra anger, and I was just like, this is private property! Get out! Literally, they all paused, and I watched as one of them peed their pants, and I started storming off towards them. They managed to go down 6 stories of this parking garage in about 30 seconds. They took off running.
You terrified those kids.
Well, good. I never saw them there again. And it's for their own good. There are a lot of blind spots in parking garages. It was for their own safety there. We didn't really care about them, being there skateboarding. We cared about them getting hurt. It was a tight space. It was, limited space in there. They would have gotten severely hurt if somebody were coming around the corner and did not see them.
I don't know why, but I'm just hearing the words of death from the Hogfather in my head at that.
I am not old. Despite Gib Gab's best efforts.
We totally should put Gib Gab in a room full of boomers and see what happens.
A room full of actual boomers. Not people that he considers boomers. Actual boomers.
Yep.
I'm sure you would insult them, and they would have no idea what you're saying.
And
which is funny.
And they'd be perfectly happy to lecture you as to why your existence is a curse. No generational trauma. None at all. None at all. Also, I don't know about you, but I can't wait to be an old man. I'm gonna totally walk around with a cane, regardless of whether I need it or not. Pretend to not be able to hear people, whack people with my walking cane, pretending I can't see them when they piss me off. I'm gonna be an amazing old person.
To be fair, I kind of want a cane just because, posh. God,
I have a
At the convention, I was sitting there vaping on my pipe vape, and somebody came by and was like, "Man, that is classy as fuck." And then they paused and were like, "I said that in the most unclassy way possible."
Yes, yes, you did. So what I'm hearing is that Zim is you want my cane and top hat.
Dude, I would love to walk around with a top hat too.
I have a cane that's got a skull handle, and a top hat with like a leather band on it with a skull on it. So
The only
I
reason
had a
I'm
look.
not already, the only reason I don't already have a, cane just for, appearance is the fact that I'd have to get one custom made. And that would be expensive.
because of their height.
Yeah, because of my height. Well, and weight.
You shouldn't be
Well, the
putting
weight
too
wouldn't
much
matter
weight on
that
a
much.
decorative.
Yeah,
cane.
the weight wouldn't be that much of a matter, but I would still want to make sure that it is well made.
Yeah. Now, I got it from when I went to the only convention I've ever been to, which was a pop culture convention. Everyone, and I just went in a full, my own take on a gothic garb. And, like, everyone thought I was in character, but there was me and my best friend, and, like, everyone's, like, trying to get photos with us because we're just there as, thing, and they think we're some comic book or cartoon characters. I'm like, no, this is just what we wear. It was great.
I know I've got a friend, one of my best friends from when I was a kid. I haven't seen him or talked to him in years, but I need to reach out to him again. But either way, he actually walks around with full bracers on. He's got the overcoat, like full freaking fantasy ranger vibes going on with his outfit. And he walks around no matter where he is with that getup.
I think all of my guy friends from when I was younger, I don't talk to anymore. Only ones I talk to are my old girlfriends. But that's kind of cool.
Okay, now I've got an actual reason to message him. Because I have an idea for a new tabletop campaign.
Looking up, putting on the Ritz canes for some. I wonder if there's ones you can get with little Marten heads on them. Oh, they have. Although it doesn't look very good. Ooh, that one does.
Well, my friend, first off, he actually ran our Fists of Furry campaign up to the end of it. Started with another storyteller, then I took it over, and then he took it over. Which was the first tabletop campaign that was on the channel. Or, first full one. I started off with one that I was running that we called Daring and Deranged, but it was rather short-lived because players disappeared. It was one of those tragic situations where everybody's schedules just started changing, and we wound up with not enough players, and I wasn't big enough at the time as a streamer to be like, here's an application, we need another player, and I'd have, you know, a bunch of people trying to get in.
Yep, Gabby is cute.
But either way, he and I both love Wheel of Time, and we wanted to do a Wheel of Time campaign for a while. And it just occurred to me that Scar could be a perfect fit for Wheel of Time.
I love Wheel of Time.
I love it too. The last time he and I really spoke was when the Amazon show came out.
Oh gosh. Why? Why? So much of that show. Just why? I mean, was I the only one? I feel like I might have been the only one that actually got really annoyed that they overtly did Moraine's relationship with the oh frick, her name's escaping me. The leader of the Aes Sedai.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Don't remember her name either, but it starts with an S.
Yes, I was really not happy that they made their relationship overt.
There were so many things I was so upset about with that first season.
And like, why did Matt leave the group? Like, why?
He left the group. They completely skipped Camelin.
Yes.
Just completely. Just, you know, just one of the most major cities in the entire series. They just skipped it.
There was so much they did wrong, and so much that they unnecessarily added instead.
Oh, you mean like the fact that the thing that they kept pushing is that the Dragon Reborn could be a man or a woman, over and over and over, just to be politically correct. Well, great, you got it. Why are they afraid of the Dragon Reborn being a woman?
Exactly. The whole point was that it's like different. They use the tainted half of the sauce and are going insane.
Yeah. I mean, if the Dragon Reborn was a woman, woo! Yeah! Bring it on!
Well, balance brought.
They even had tiled roofs for all of the 2 rivers. I know it's such a minor point, but it was a big thing later on in the series that, you know, the Thatcher was upset about how the tiled roofs were coming in and he was going to be out of a job and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, and let's not forget what was they did the big battle dirty. But, you know, the big event of, like, Book 8 just taking place, like, nonchalantly at the end of the first season.
Oh my god, Ido, yes! Oh my god. Sorry, I saw this coming and...
The Dapper Saberoo.
No, even better. The caption he gave, not the promotion I saw myself getting.
That's great. Oh, that's great.
No, you probably should have made the puddle orange there, I know. Or I guess pinkish purple now.
I will say the only character who I think I kind of liked was I'm gonna say her name wrong because they pronounced it one way and I read it differently because I read it was Nanive.
Nynaeve?
Yeah, the wise woman from
Yeah.
the Two Rivers. She was the only one that I was like, I like her.
Yeah, they did her character justice. That was the only thing they did justice.
A little bit Latin, but I think they did the whole Aes Sedai thing just wrong.
First off, it's Aes Sedai, but yeah,
Aes
they
Sedai,
did.
sorry. Again, read it for many more years before I started.
Oh, I get it. Hey, Kenku. Hey, Bon. Good to see you both. My biggest issue with it was that they made it so that you could resurrect the dead. Like, okay, they skipped Camelin. They can circle back to going to Camelin later. They the tiled roofs, it was a relatively small part. Okay, fine. They don't have that little argument. I can understand that being skipped. But the dead can be resurrected? Really?
Yeah.
That, to me, was the biggest middle finger to the source material that they did.
Oh, and the fact that Tar Valon didn't end up looking like a piece of female genitalia.
I'm not worried about that. Because I also did not get that impression from the books myself, but
I didn't when I read it as a kid, but someone pointed out to me, and then I read back and read the description in the book, and I'm like, oh, yeah, it totally is.
But yeah, the biggest crime that they did was making it that the dead could be resurrected.
Also was a little annoyed that they did the reveal that, like, the planet was once the place was once super futuristic, like, right at the start.
Well, that was a thing.
It was a thing, but I remember that being a slow reveal that kind of came later.
Yeah, but it also wasn't exactly lost to knowledge anyways. I personally was not against that.
That's fair.
But so many of the other things that they did.
Oh, and the fact that, like, every of the red character got rolled into one.
Yeah?
Alright, I can go on for ages about all the stuff that series did horribly.
Same.
But great book series.
Oh yeah, fantastic. It slows down a bit towards the middle to end of it, but then it picks up again once Brandon Sanderson takes over. I think that unfortunately Robert Jordan, the original author, was just getting too old and
He
lost
was.
his touch.
He was getting a bit old and a bit rambly, and you could
Yeah.
kind of tell that he kind of got fired his editor. I think around halfway through book 8 was when I really started to struggle. I was like, it's good, but just have something happen, please.
But it's like the series itself, it actually isn't bad. It's just not Wheel of Time.
I will agree with that. Like, I would say at best it's Wheel of Time inspired.
I could agree to that.
At best.
Yeah, it's inspired by Wheel of Time, sure. But it's not actually Wheel of Time.
I wanted to see more of Thomas.
Yes. Yeah, the fact they didn't even split up or anything. Oh, it was so bad.
Well, split it. They didn't. They weren't supposed to split up until the second book, weren't they? Because wasn't it supposed to be after the Eye of the World that they all split up? That's why I was really like, why the heck was Matt not with them? Him being there was a big deal.
Guru, we're talking about Wheel of Time and how Amazon did it dirty. Like, the series they made, the visuals, the performances, everything was really good. It just wasn't Wheel of Time. That was the problem I had with it.
I mean, I did like the Dark Fiend slap and tickle remark. Sorry, the Dark Friend slap and tickle remark between Matt and...
I don't remember that.
Ran. It was when... You remember when... what was the name of it? That, like, dodgy city that Matt and Ran go to. And they were, like, staying in the bartender's thing, and they were, like... Matt and Ren had a big fight. And Matt storms off, and the lady comes in and says, she was like joking with them, and then said, you two just need a good slap and tickle.
Like, yes. I like I said, I liked the series, but I did not, it was not Wheel of Time. And I've got a raptor out here.
You need some water?
Actually, yes.
I got you. I'm here for that. Let's go.
You're making my shelf bounce.
Because I'm bouncing. And I have a big tail.
Do you?
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought you lost your tail.
Oh, that must be my butt. Okay, let's take the water then. Sorry.
One sec, everybody. Rex comes out here to get me water, like a good boy, and is surprised when I'm handing him the 3 water bottles I have him fill every time he does so.
Hey, you handed the big one, and then the other 2 together, and I needed to adjust myself.
Yeah, not taking that easy, bait. Oh! There were some burner mining drills. What the heck happened?
I grabbed it by the lid and the... I got it. It's good. Don't worry. All good.
That sounds like worrying words.
Yeah, literally everything he just said was not did not sound good.
But yes, no, if you were to do a Wheel of Time campaign, would you do it pre or post cleansing?
That is a great question and would probably be up to the whoever winds up running it.
Because it's just whether you, if you're playing male characters who can wield the source, are they going to be, if it's pre, then we have to have them going slowly insane. If it's post, then... Yeah. Males go insane because the male half of the magic wielding goes in, is got tainted, so all males who access it go crazy.
I will just say, I can absolutely play a crazy character.
Yes, but it's usually not the fun kind of crazy in Wheel of Time. But it's still fun to play, but it's not the fun kind of crazy. It's more the rambling while killing innocent babies kind of crazy.
No. There is not there is not transformation in Wheel of Time, technically.
It would be less going around going crazy, turning folks into things, more crazy electrocuting them into piles of ash.
However, I will say, there is the dream world that you can drag somebody into. And there, well, if your will is strong enough, you can do whatever you want to somebody.
It's the logic of a dream.
Actually, one of the scenes in there is, I won't say names, but basically one character goes chasing after another character. The first character, we'll say the good character and the evil character. The good character chases after the evil. The good character does not know about the dream world. Oh, I know which one you're talking about. The evil character opens a portal into the dream world, and the good character chases after him, and the evil character begins to use the... It's basically a matter of will in the dream world. If you are physically there, just about anything can be done to you. And the evil character was actually trying to turn the good character into an animal that could not cast spells. Of course, they wound up failing, so we didn't get the good end. Or, okay, fine. The bad end for the general public. But, you know.
Isn't it also, if I remember right, when the ladies go into the dream world, yes, that there is also a degree of so if you've got an innate affinity with the source that's stronger, then it's not a matter of will, it's a matter of your attunement to the source, as was with...
It is not a matter of attunement to source, no. That has nothing to do with dreamwalking.
Oh, I thought that's how what's that lady? I would say start of letter, but when she was facing the dark.
I know the scene
friends in the dream.
I know the scene you're talking about, but no.
Oh, okay.
Give me a sec. Just one sec, guys.
Yep, yeah. I mean, I guess technically, Garroot, there is TF in Wheel of Time because there are werewolves.
But yeah. So power with the source has nothing to do with your power in the dream world. You could have absolutely no power. You can be not even a channeler at all and be able to outdo somebody with the ability to channel.
Fair enough.
It is
honesty,
entirely
it's-
about the strength of your personal will.
Fair enough. It has been a very long time since I've read it. Apologies.
No worries. But I will say that if you physically enter the dream world and then leave it after something's been done to you, that thing does stick around.
But yes, but there is technically TF. Because there's werewolves.
If you're talking about the Wolf Brothers, that's not... That is not TF. That is
Yeah.
something else altogether.
Fair. I always kind of saw it as TF adjacent.
Well, okay, yeah, I think you're right, actually, but it is very minor. In that case, because, like, the eyes do change color. One sec.
So they don't really, air quotes, turn into a wolf. They're just share kinship with wolves and develop certain physical and mental features of wolves.
So what it is that their senses get much stronger. Their senses become akin to a wolf. But as far as a physical change that people can see, the only actual physical change is that their eyes turn amber.
They also get they tend to get quite physically strong.
That is entirely the character themselves and what they do.
Fair. I always thought that there was a degree of the wolfness to it with Perrin because it seemed to drive him into more brutishness.
That would be more of a personality change there, but even then, that was not actually a TF thing. He does act slightly different, but yeah.
And they can communicate with wolves.
Yes, they are able to communicate with wolves. Telepathically for miles around.
And with other wolf brothers.
Actually, I don't think they can.
I remember them being able to, but wolf brothers were really rare, and the only other wolf brothers Perry came into were not on his side.
No, they were. So there were two others that he came into contact with. Actually, one of them did basically go full wolf mind. Was still human, but I believe that Perrin was able to communicate with him. But I do know the other one that was like Perrin, that still had their human sensibilities to them. He was not able to communicate directly with them telepathically.
The benefits of being one of the, what was it they called them, the word for the people who are the threads that pull others along Tarvalon.
Tarvalon, I don't think that's the right term.
What was the word? I'm looking it up. Taverin, sorry.
Yeah, that sounds right.
The Taverin. AKA the walls of the Wheel of Time universe. I mean, that's the easiest way I can explain what a Taverin is to someone who doesn't know Wheel of Time. They're the warriors of light of the Wheel of Time universe.
Well, remember, they're not necessarily warriors of light. They are just...
Well, they can be warriors of darkness, too. They just...
Yeah, the Taverin were... They are people that are so strong of will and presence and purpose that they drag everybody else along with them.
It's those blessed, those touched by fate, isn't it?
It's... I don't recall if it was a matter of they were, like, you know, touched by fate or anything. If I recall, it's something that they can develop themselves.
Those who are around a Tarvalon for... I remember people who hang around Tarvalon for long enough themselves can become Tarvalon.
Taverin.
Oh, Taverin, sorry. Yeah.
Kinda, yeah. I think you might be right that they are touched by,
I'm pretty
they
sure
are. I think they are touched
fate.
by fate. Yeah, fate decrees that they are going to be. They are going to be important, and yeah, others that. It's not so much that others become Taverin. It's that their purpose got so their fate got so intermingled with a Taverin's fate that thus it's more that they are an extension of the original Taverin. It is the way that I understood.
That sounds more like how I understood it, because it was kind of like the way it is basically these people they're the threads of the tapestry that fate has destined can weave their own path. And as they weave their path, they drag all the other threads around them.
Yeah.
And yeah. Because, like, you know, in the Wheel of Time, you can't really talk about it without talking about, you know, the literal loom of fate. Or the loom of time. Because it's what the whole thing's about.
Yeah.
It's been so long since I've read it. I really need to read it again, but it's not a small undertaking.
No. The friend that I was talking
That
about
goes-
earlier does a annual rereading of the whole series.
Oh, I'm assuming
Yeah.
that's all they read.
No, he does read other books.
I think if I was to read it and sit down and read the Wheel of Time, it's going to take me at least 2 years to get through the whole series.
Yeah. That's why I do audiobooks.
Yeah. I ended up buying like the first 6 books when I got a Kindle a few years ago, and I started reading the first one to get hyped for the Amazon series. I'm like, and then the Amazon series came out, and I got so disillusioned that I stopped reading it. I was like, oh god, what have they done?
Also, Guru, it is not that you are not allowed to magic because you are a guy, because you are male. You can still be a male channeler. And eventually, the male half of the source does get cleansed. Well, yes, they do want to kill you for existing because they're afraid of what you might become, because the male half of the source, the male channelers are much stronger than the female ones.
Mostly because there's less of them, because, yeah.
Well, that's got nothing to do with it. Even before it got tainted in the first place, it was just a fact that men were stronger with the source than the women.
But yeah, basically any male who can channel, who's left long enough, basically annihilates a good portion of the planet, a good portion of the country. Like
the world.
Yeah.
But
yeah, sorry, a good portion of the world gets like destroyed. Just from them existing.
However, I will also point out that you can resist that.
Yes.
Oh no, not
But
even
it's
then,
just-
Guru. Even the Dragon Reborn would go crazy.
In fact, he's the one that's most terrifying to go crazy, because
Yes.
he will destroy the entire world.
But when it comes to the men channelers, they can resist going insane. It gets harder and harder the more that you do it. But no, he was not immune at all.
And choosing to not use the source once you can use it is described akin as to, like, a lobotomy.
Using the source is very much an addiction kind of thing.
It's also a case of you can't choose to use the source or not.
Well,
It's something you either have or you don't have. But you can choose to not use it if you have it.
Yeah.
But it's like someone who doesn't have it can't just choose to start learning how to use it. You either have it or you don't.
yes, you can be severed from it. However, over the course of the book series, that is one
That's
thing
not
that
a
is
good thing.
healed.
Yeah, and being severed from it usually results in severe depression and always ends in suicide.
Not always, but the vast majority of the time.
Well, I'm pretty sure the ones that didn't kill themselves were the ones that the Aes Sedai basically just, locked in padded cells and...
Most of them wound up going that route, but there was a couple that managed to retain enough sense of purpose for themselves that they did not. Yeah, it is not like Dragon Age, though, Guru. Dragon Age, they just cut off all emotion and everything, and then it is basically a lobotomy. But with the Source, if they are severed from it, they are not cut off entirely from it. They are not just basically blank slates.
Imagine Geru being presented the ability to have everything you ever wanted at the touch of your fingers. All you have to do is reach out and take it, and you can feel the ultimate joy, the ultimate peace, and the ultimate happiness. And then you're cut from that, and you can still see it there, right in front of your fingertips, but you can no longer touch it. Would you say that's a pretty good description of what it's like?
I would say so, yeah. But either way, yeah, right now on the game here, I am literally just waiting for research to be done. Because at this point, I need to expand my factory more. So I think what I'm going to do is make more research labs.
Well, the thing with that, Garu, is that you will have to have used it for them to be able to know to cut you off from it. Because there's no real way to test if someone has a connection to the source until they use it.
No, they can be...
No?
You can test to see if somebody has the ability to touch the source. There are some...
I thought it was the Blues prophecies that gave them forewarning.
No.
Okay.
The
artifacts.
No, it's just some tests that they can do to see if somebody has the ability to access it. Because there's some... So there are some channelers that will just eventually wind up channeling regardless, without realizing it. And then there are some that have the ability to be trained to channel, but will not automatically just channel at some point.
It would be a series of tests, not something they just sense.
Correct. Yeah, it's not like they walk around and they're like, oh, that random commenter can channel. No.
It would also be a case of it's like, even if the test was like, oh, everyone can go and take the test, no guy is going to want to take the test.
No, it's not like force sensitivity, no. They don't run a police state system. It's just they go around occasionally to various locations and test to see if people can channel there.
And also, it's like, if a guy can channel, they're going to be terrified that they're the dragon and that they're going to be hunted. And so, like, all the guys are just going to sit there going, I can't channel, never going to channel, I don't channel.
Well, it depends on the person. Actually, a lot of them assume that they are, in fact, the dragon.
Oh, once they find out they can channel, yes.
Yeah.
But before they find out they can channel, they're like, desperately hoping they can't channel.
And yes, if you catch it early, you can live a normal life.
Yeah. But once you've found yourself using it enough, it's like... It's an addiction you can never get over.
A better way to describe it would basically be like channeling is like kind of like an extra sense, you know, or for a comparison. It's not like that. It's just like, say you're able to see. For some reason, you're not able to see for, you know, like 10 years. You're blind. And then suddenly your sight is restored. And, you know, you're able to take in all of everything. You're able to see. But then somebody cuts you off, and now you're blind again. That would probably be the closest comparison that I can give to real-world stuff for how, or for what it's like to be severed from the source.
My way of always imagining it was like having your limbs removed in terms of emotional connection.
I prefer the vision comparison because it's something that it's difficult, but you can get through life without a limb. It's more difficult if you lose something as important as sight. And also with limbs, it's like it depends on which limb you lose. Because, you know, you lose a leg and they've got prosthetics that you can just walk around with.
Well, if we go by the symbolism of the book, it's like losing your genitalia. But, you know, let's... Sorry. I think the sight metaphor is probably the best to be accurate for the sensation, or the closest to real world thing. I'm sorry.
Why are you apologizing?
You went really quiet after I said that.
Oh, sorry. My friend got back to me about the Wheel of Time thing.
Oh. I was like, oh no. Oh no. I still think, though, I would totally go for the Order of the Green.
Oh, definitely. Same here.
I want my little harem.
Hey there, Henry.
I would not be interested in the Order of the Red. Oh, what was the name of that faction that would just go, that would just like the basically the like Inquisitors?
The Reds?
No, not the outside of the Aes Sedai.
Oh, the children.
That's it.
The children of the light.
I hate those people so much. The whole, there's something that's slightly wonderful. Let's kill it.
So the Children of the Light, Guru, were...
The Crusaders, Templar, Paladin people.
It was literally the Crusades from... They were Crusaders from, you know, our older times in the real world, you know. They decide that murdering everybody that can channel is good, so therefore they do so. And claim it as a religious thing.
But, like, they don't just murder someone who can channel. It's like, if a village has someone who can channel in it, they'll murder the person who can channel and the entire village because they're now tainted.
And it was not limited to men. They would also try to kill women as well.
Yeah.
It depends on how fanatical the particular person was. And they did not have to even channel, because, you know, you might have somebody that does... Literally, they were the version of the Salem witch trials. That person is doing something weird. Kill them. They are evil.
Yes, I am getting all the paws. Num 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 paws. Well, the thing is, though, is it's like, you know, it could have been, okay, say you had a town healer who didn't use the source, but rather used herbal remedies. The Children of the Light might decide that, you know, they might be messing with the source, so, you know, kill everyone.
I will say
Or,
that
like,
the Children of the Light were not justified in the universe. Most people considered them bad.
Yeah, they're kind of the bad guys. Well, one of the bad guys.
Yeah. Yeah, they were the only ones that considered themselves good. Even common folk would be terrified of them, because they'd come in and be like, yep, we take this, it's all in the service of the light. Oh, you're refusing to let us have all of your food? Well, you must be a dark friend then.
Or, oh, you have amber eyes. You must be source touched, and slaughter you. That was one part of the Amazon series that was satisfying, watching the Children of the Light get ripped apart by the pack of wolves.
True.
Well, after they, you know, tortured...
Guru, no, he wasn't making it personal. We were talking about Perrin, one of the Wolf brothers, earlier. His eyes turned amber, and he was very much hunted by the Children of the Light because of his eyes being a different color than everybody else's. And they decided that he must be evil because of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't targeted at you, Guru. That was just a... that's literally one of the plot points of the series. Exactly, Henry. Exactly. And the worst part is that I swear half of the Children of the Light were actually Dark Friends themselves.
Well, it's like when the Black Order showed up And it's like, oh, it turns out half of the reds are actually dark friends. They had lots of power.
They
The
had...
Children of the Light.
So they had power in the form of military might. They did not have magical power or anything, but they had enough military might that even nations would walk carefully around them.
Also, if I remember right, often a lot of their higher-ups would use weaponry that itself was imbued with some forms of magic that enabled them to defend against Aes Sedai.
I don't remember that, but it would not. But it doesn't. It wouldn't surprise me if they had some Aes Sedai artifacts. Yeah. Oh well, I know. I do know for sure that they did try to. They did have a vault of every, artifact that they could grab because they didn't want it being in others' hands. But I don't recall them actually using those themselves.
And, if they suspected you're an Aes Sedai, they'd do things like, cut out your tongue, pull off your hands. Yeah. And then kill you.
They would torture you to, They would torture you to make you repent for being a channeler.
And then your reward for repentance was death without mercy.
Let's see. I can do steel furnaces now. I should get some steel production going. Instead of just sitting here, waiting. I'll do it here.
I mean, Garu, that's fair, but a lot of the channelers actually kind of made it their duty to make life better for people.
It does depend on the specific person, but yes, a lot of them did.
Often greatly depended on what order they were a part of, I found. But yeah, that was very much linked to what type of person you were, with what order you were.
Yeah. And it's like, you can't even, even the factions, like the Red Aes Sedai, who were very fanatical in what they did. Even them, you couldn't really fault them. Because their whole thing was they were hunting down dangerous, They were hunting down dangerous male channelers. They just and stilling them, yeah.
Oh no, gently,
yes, yeah, yeah. Alright, we got steel production going, but I have also realized that my power is suffering. So we need to go add some more power generation.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like most kingdoms were still run in a patriarchal society, in a patriarchal manner. There was a lot of matriarchal nature to the more magic sides of the kingdoms, but I felt a lot more of the non-magical side of stuff was very much patriarchal.
It depended on the specific kingdom, but yeah. Like, Camelin was matriarchal, even...
Yeah.
There we go. That should solve our power production. Yes.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like if you put warders, which were all males, up against an Aes Sedai, they were able to fight pretty well. There were plenty of swordsmen and weapon users who could go toe-to-toe with channelers. It wasn't the majority, but the books definitely had quite a few who could.
Who?
I know Lan could.
In that case, it was always dependent upon circumstances outside of it. Because you're also talking about spellcasters that could just wrap you up in air and tie it off, and you were stuck there, frozen in midair, as long as they wanted, or if they did tie it off, you would be stuck there until it eventually dissipated, but that could take hours, if not longer. Yeah, army versus Vader kind of thing. That said, you know, if you catch them by surprise, which is something that the Children of the Light would do, they would, you know, stake out a location, put a good crossbowman up there. They may only get one shot, but if they land that shot, well, the Aes Sedai is dead.
There's also the whole, often they would get Aes Sedai who didn't want trouble and were just trying to, you know, get through unnoticed.
Exactly, Guru. But yes, a swordsman on a fair battleground, the Aes Sedai is winning. That said, the Aes Sedai did take oaths when they became Aes Sedai that they would not take a life. And when it comes to those oaths, they could not break them because they were magically imbued. They could only take a life in the defense of themselves or their warder. Which was, you know, a swordsman ally that was magically enhanced by them.
And bonded to them.
And bonded, yeah. But otherwise, the only things that they could actually kill were monsters from the Dark One.
I mean, it's worth noting, even amongst those who could channel, the power differences were huge. Like, someone who's studied for years could just get ruffle stomped by someone who was just much more in touch with the source innately. So, like, it is inherently an unfair world.
Yes, the Dark One is the villain.
the Dark One is the definition of the villains.
Yeah.
He's the reason everything's so messed up.
Yes, exactly, Guru. A Jedi versus a squad of troopers. That Jedi is probably going to win.
But, you know, those troopers shoot the Jedi in the back when they're not ready.
Yeah.
I still like the greens. The greens are awesome.
There was also an oath that the Aes Sedai they could not tell a lie.
Yes.
So they just were outright unable to lie.
But that made them brilliant at
Half-truths.
wordplay. Yes.
Yes, they willingly took these oaths because, you know, people were right to fear the Aes Sedai. So they made these oaths and were taking the oaths for the sake of ensuring that they could be trusted. Oh, the children still went after them. The children still went after them, regardless.
Yeah. I feel it was less... I could be wrong, maybe it's me just being an idealist, but I always felt that they took the oath less for political reasons, more for ethical reasons when they saw what happened when Aes Sedai were left untethered.
It was a little bit of both, but yeah. And, yeah, the children existing did not put them in check. The children are literally the Crusaders. They were just a fanatical faction that did not have a... They did not have an actual... They only came about because they, you know, decided, let's crusade against evil kind of thing.
Honestly, it's like they claim to be fighting for good, but honestly, I don't think the book justifies the Children of the Light's action in any real way. It kind of depicts them as like the Nazis of the Wheel of Time universe.
I don't want to say that. They were definitely bad.
Genocidal.
They were genocidal, but I think the better comparison would be the actual Crusades.
Or the Inquisition?
Well, yeah, the Crusades, the Inquisition, etc.
Yeah.
They wanted to protect the world from evil. Not a bad reason in the first place.
No, Inquisition was not the red. Oh, wait.
It's a little more nuanced than that, Guru, but not a bad way to put it. They did have their own Inquisitors, though. But yeah, it was the Crusades. They decided that God wanted them to go and do the thing, so they went and did the thing. A lot of them... There were some that were drunk on power. Absolutely. But there were also some of them who were... They genuinely believed in what they were doing.
The sole purpose of the red wasn't actually to harm people. The sole purpose of the red was to find and gentle male channelers, because male channelers left unchecked were dangerous.
The original purpose of the Red Aes Sedai was actually to be the policing force of the Aes Sedai.
Correct.
Their original...
They were the MPs.
Yeah, when the Aes Sedai were originally both men and women before the taint became a thing, the red Aja, as they were called,
Yeah.
were the policing force. It's like you go out of line, you start going and burning down villages and stuff, the Reds are going to go after you. Because it's not like they can send anybody else after you, because, well, you wield unlimited power. The children saw all spellcasters as evil. They were working against the creator. They were working against God. So their whole purpose was they wanted to root out evil and remove it.
It's also worth noting they weren't just after channelers, because there was more people touched by magic by the source than just those who channel.
They were after evil. Specifically, they went after evil. They just saw channeling as evil. But there were other things that were evil as well. And there were times that the children would do good. Like, if they came across somebody murdering, they would absolutely police and track them down and stuff. They, you know, thieves and such, they would actually, you know, do the policing job there.
The idea of the Red going bad is, if they've taken their oath, they kind of can't.
Well, the oaths came along later. But...
Yeah, there was a clarification of if they've taken their oaths, they kind of can't. But spoiler, something happens. Because I think if I remember right, I can't remember if it's they literally couldn't break their oaths, or it's if they broke their oaths, they die.
Technically speaking, they could break the oaths, but it was never really clarified on if they would die, or if they just felt insane amounts of pain.
Like it was, yeah.
Or
I
if they
remember
just
it was either
actually
they die,
could
it was
not.
intense agony.
Or I forget, because they never really approached that. They just, you know, the oaths were, or at least not that I remember. But the oaths
let's see
were...
if there's anything.
Yeah, kind of like trying to betray a Gias. Yeah. Except more intense. Alright, let's start...
Oh, they literally can't break them.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
There is a way to perform a ritual to free yourself from the oaths, but if you're under the oath, you literally cannot break them.
Though it is, if you do get stilled, you are no longer bound to the oaths.
Yes. It's undoable, but it's a very dark ritual that's incredibly unpleasant. But it's basically, to break the oath, you basically need to cut yourself off from the source.
Yeah. Or you use the oath rod again, but they kept the oath rod under lock and key very severely. Yeah. And even then, you need to have another present with you in order to, because the oath rod cannot just be used by one person. You need witnesses to your oath.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like it has to be done in front of a court, essentially.
Well, not a court, but I believe it is a circle of 13.
Council? Yeah. Council is probably a better word. Yeah.
And no, you cannot solo self-antag. Alright, well, I did not make a huge amount of progress on this, but I'm gonna go ahead and switch games here, I think.
Sorry. We got Wheel of Time zoned.
I was enjoying that, so don't apologize. That was a very fun discussion.
I just apologize the gaps in my the 23 years it's been since I've read it is showing.
But yeah,
Sorry,
thank
not
you.
quite that long, but
No worries. But thank you everybody for joining us today for Factorio. Check out our website, zgfgaming.com. We've got links for our Discord, Telegram, Mastodon, Blue Sky, Patreon, and more. They're on the website as well as down in the description below through our link tree. Thank you to my patrons, tippers, and subscribers. It is your support that keeps this channel alive and going. I cannot do this without your guys' help and your support, so thank you. Consider becoming a patron over at patreon.com/zgfgaming. It's one of the best ways to support the channel, though you can also do so by sharing the stream around, picking up packs of cards to stream loots, using our Humble Bundle partner link, or subscribing to us on Streamloots as well as YouTube. But for now, thank you so much for joining, and I bid you all the most fondest adieu.
so long.